Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Sirianni. Even though we just barely lost the Super Bowl last year, with Jalen and his team of super friends, we're looking pretty comfortable for this NFL season. Wait a minute guys, I'm getting a call here. And it turns out we suck! I regret to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that the Philadelphia Eagles may have just put the final nail in our coffin. After countless games of pure heart attacks, we are now 3 losses in a row. How could this have possibly happened? I mean, we were the top seed. Well, I have a couple of theories. Now, I'm going to try and keep my biases out of this video as much as possible, but of course I can't guarantee that. So everybody take out your pens and papers and be prepared to take notes, as I'm about to teach the new course I just made up. Downfall of the Eagles 101. The Eagles had a really tough schedule for the 2023 season. Back to back to back, they had to face the Dolphins, the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, and then the 49ers. Now you can say what you want, but all of these teams are very remarkable in their own way. As the Cowboys are our arch nemesis, the Chiefs are the ones who cheat us out of that Super Bowl victory last year, and we figured out very early on, you just can't sleep on any team. Now this is especially heavily emphasized when we look at our first loss in the NFL season of 2023, which was 14-20 to the Jets. The Jets. If you want to get me riled up, ask me where I was on October 15th. Now, after we successfully defeated the Dolphins, the next 4 games that took place are what I like to call the heart attack games. Make sure you write this down. Now, in case you aren't aware, the reason why I'm calling these games the heart attack games are due to the crude nature of giving all Eagles fans in the world a severe heart attack, making us think we're going to lose, and then somehow winning in the end. The typical meme for this football occasion looks like this. This particular play style of losing in the first half and then somehow winning in the end has occurred 4 times in a row, making it always seem like we've won the games by just pure luck in the end. Happiness within the Eagles fans have, of course, been at an all-time high, but our confidence has been slowly draining, and eventually it would meet the breaking point once we went against the 49ers. One of the most awaited football games of this season was the Eagles versus 49ers on December 3rd. Now, we just came from a very tight game from the Bills, with Jake Elliott in his tying field goal kick and Jalen Hurts with his overall victory touchdown. And now we were facing the team that we obliterated last year for the NFC Championship of 2022. During that time last year, we were 13-2 and the 49ers were 13-3. This year, we were 10-1 while the 49ers were just 8-3. The odds were more in our favor, as we were the top seed in the division and no one was coming close to taking that away from us. However, Brock Purdy immediately humbled us. We lost hard, with the score being 19-42 at the end of the game. Sure, this wasn't really surprising, with the last 4 of our games being tighter than spandex. The stress of continuing the winning streak may have also been challenging for the team. Now, of course, Chiefs fans, 49ers fans, and Cowboys fans alike all flocked on Instagram to make fun of us. And maybe rightfully so. I mean, those last 4 games were extremely tight, and the 49ers did make us look like frauds for a second. But what came next changed everything the Eagles had in mind for their future in the NFL. After the crushing defeat from the 49ers, it was time for the Eagles to look past that and get ready for the next round against the Dallas Cowboys. We defeated them prior this season on November 5th with the score coming to 28-23, and boy were Cowboys fans that day. They have been waiting for their revenge ever since, and they said we couldn't beat them on their home turf. And unfortunately, they were correct. Almost parallel to the loss to the 49ers, we were blown out 13-33. What's worse than an Eagles fan winning a game? A Cowboys fan when the Cowboys beat the Eagles. The infamous "Cry Eagles Cry" sign was shown at this game, only further punching us in the guts. Although losing to the 49ers wasn't so bad, losing to the Cowboys caused us to lose our top divisional seed in the NFC. With this loss, a lot of heat has been falling on our offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. His questionable play calling putting the Eagles at risk has ticked off every single Eagles fan, and we all find it impossible that he has not been fired yet. And I hate to admit it, but Dallas Prescott
25 points
has been haunting my dreams ever since that night. December 18th served as what could have possibly been the final nail in the coffin for the Eagles. Suspicions before the match were already at an all-time high due to Jalen Hurts being downgraded to questionable due to his illness, and Sean Desai, the previous defensive coordinator, was stripped of his duties and benched in favor of Matt Patricia. Surprisingly, even with his illness, Jalen Hurts continued to play the match. Everything seemed to be okay at first, and within the first half, Jalen Hurts has scored a touchdown and Jake Elliott scored a field goal, while all the Seahawks had was a field goal from Jason Myers. Within the third quarter, Jalen Hurts scored another touchdown with the infamous tush push, while Kenneth Walker scored a touchdown as well. By the fourth quarter, the score was 17-10 Eagles. At the 10-minute mark, Jason Myers was able to score another field goal, making the score 17-13. This was a little troubling, but it's nothing the Eagles weren't used to. However, miraculously, within the last 29 seconds of the fourth quarter, Seahawks QB Drew Locks threw a 29-yard pass to Jackson Smith for a touchdown, making the score 17-20. The Eagles had the ball, and they completely blew it. Within the last couple of seconds, all we needed were 13 yards in order to tie the game with a field goal. And instead, Brian Johnson gave Jalen Hurts the call to throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. And the result? The Seahawks intercepted it, ending the game at 17-20 for the Seahawks. This was perhaps the most crushing loss of all, due to the fact that we could have been able to regain our top seed, or maybe even second seed in the NFC, due to the Cowboys losing miserably to the Bills. And instead, it's as if the standings never changed from the week prior. Class is over, everyone, and that feels pretty symbolic to how it feels to be an Eagles fan once again. What was once a 10-1 lead turned into a 10-4 loss, losing us our top divisional seed and any credibility of us not being frauds. Both the Ravens and the 49ers are leading the league 11-3. All we can do now as Eagles fans is wait for Christmas, and hopefully we can beat the Giants, because if we don't, I don't even know what we're going to do. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is Downfall of the Eagles 101.